when lives are on the line.
Are there any obvious injuries?
These men and women will risk theirs.
The lad who was driving got blood coming out of his face.
To save yours.
RTC truck.
They deal with the most serious injuries.
The patient is described as bleeding heavily.
Directly below his ear. There's a lot of blood there.
The most critical illnesses.
The reports of a male who's in cardiac arrest, and without any action, the patient will die.
The two Yorkshire Air Ambulances cover Britain's biggest county.
He's fallen 30 foot from the roof.
Oh yeah. He's got a big cut to his head.
5 million people rely on them
All right, sorry, sweetheart.
to deliver cutting-edge emergency medicine
We're just going to go to sleep. He's not looking particularly good.
at high speed.
If you can activate your major hemorrhage protocol.
Every day brings high risks.
Patient's had a significant fall off that cliff, significant head injury, probably spinal.
How bad's pain at the moment?
She's full of breathe.
Fall approximately 30 feet.
High stakes.
Is he actually on the beach then?
He's had a crash on his bike. He's got a head injury.
Can you see all right? Vision's fine, apart from I ain't got my glasses on.
And high drama.
Gone through the air approximately about 60 feet. Query pelvis and definitely an open left femur.
If anything happens en route, we need to compress the chest first.
In the North York Moors National Park, a major rescue is underway. Mountain rescue volunteers are racing to a ravine where a man is seriously hurt. At the Nostell Air Base, Dr. Sarah and paramedics Steve and Sammy are about to join the rescue.
East Ayton, so just out towards Scarborough.
Okay. That's where the weather is.
Okay.
Rotating.
Believed to be in some woods, so the actual ident might be quite challenging.
It's a 25-minute flight.
We're heading over towards Scarborough to the coast. A gentleman, he's fallen off what we presume is a quarry. It's in a wooded area. I think it's an old disused quarry. And it sounds like it's gone quite a distance, maybe 30 foot. He's conscious, he's breathing, but he's complaining of some pain in his back. I think one of our greatest concerns is how we're actually going to get him out of there. So we're looking to see if we can have any other resources could come and help us. So Mountain Rescue hopefully will be able to come and help us to extricate him.
They're on scene. MRT.
They're on scene already? Oh, that's perfect. So they should be able to tell us what's what. This weather is really ropey.
As darkness falls, thick clouds and bad visibility could make this already complicated mission more difficult.
So update, he's fallen 30 feet, head injury, complaining of rib pain, SATs of 70%.
70%? Oh, that's really not okay. The amount of oxygen in his body is really, really poor, and that's actually really dangerous. But if it is 70%, it means that he's got a significant chest injury, and over time that is likely to deteriorate and he'll become really very unwell. So that gives us a lot of concern.
Yeah, visual with blue lights here on the by 11 o'clock.
Right, I think we'll do it here.
Okay,
Just
because
to
of
avoid
those.
picking those
Yeah,
covers up. You've got a
not
bit of a
problem.
wall, but better than nothing.
Air desk from 99, landed cricket pitch.
Pilot JB has landed as close as he can. Mountain Rescue have arrived to take them the rest of the way.
We've landed above the scene, and MRT are able to take us down to where the patient is, well, almost. And then we'll walk and approach and find the gentleman that fell 30 feet down the cliff.
Patient's had a significant fall off that cliff.
Yeah.
He's behind some trees.
Yeah.
There's a DCA and a response vehicle working on him. He's got significant head injury, probably spinal.
Do you know what his ob's like?
I don't know, but he's literally just up there.
Okay.
72-year-old Vernon Jenkins has fallen 30 feet down a rock face into trees.
Fall from there down to there, chest injury, low SATs.
Shall we let you guys do what you do, and then we'll have a look at him when he gets out there, because otherwise, you know me, I'll go trip over a bush or something. We'll just go out there.
Mountain Rescue volunteers will first get him onto a spinal stretcher so Dr. Sarah can assess his injuries.
If we have him over here, then we can actually see.
ADAS from 99, SITREP. Incident is as described, fall approximately 30 feet with a laceration to back of head. MRT extricating patient with query spinal, query rib injuries, and we will rendezvous and treat accordingly at the side of the ambulance. Over.
At last, Vernon is free of the undergrowth he landed in, but it's clear he's suffered a severe head injury, and there are fears for his spine.
Steady, brace and lower.
His wife was with him when it happened.
Leslie, my name's Stephen from the ambulance service. So at the minute, darling, it's obviously Mountain Rescue have done their job of getting the patient out, okay? So what we're going to do now, we're just going to get Vernon onto the back of the ambulance, which is a little bit later. We can see what's going on, see what his observations are and what his injuries are, okay? Judging probably by the mechanisms, what's happened, what we've seen, it's more than likely we'll need to take him to a trauma centre. So it's a possibility we'll fly him there, because it'll be quicker.
Yes.
And it's likely at this point probably to be Hull Royal, but as soon as I know what's going on, I'll come back out and speak to you and let you know exactly what's going on. Okay, we'll look after him. All right.
He is moving all his limbs.
Yeah.
I can't see any fractures with regards to the legs or anything like that. His thoracic pain is mid-shoulders area.
Yeah.
I don't know, T5, something like that, yeah. He's got blood on his ear.
Yeah.
Here. I can't, as far as I can tell, that's not coming from his ear, but forgive me if I've missed...
No, it's fine. You can't see when you're...
No, so
fine.
laceration, I believe that the blood has run down from the back of his head into his ear.
Into his ear.
So these people have done a fabulous job so far, and we've got you out. So we're just going to redo a few things of a quick top to toe.
I tell you now, both the hearing aids have come out. So,
Okay, you can't hear me very well. That's
again now.
Okay, so Vernon, what we're going to do is we're just going to go another top to toe survey and have a look to see if any injuries, and then go from there. How bad's pain at the moment?
Just for the breathe.
Okay, and which side of your chest is that?
This side.
On the left-hand side?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have a listen to that.
Mostly.
Okay, and apart from the chest, Vernon, where else is the pain?
Top of the head.
Top of your head. Okay, we got head injury. Okay.
For the mountain rescue team, it's been a challenging extrication.
Well, the gentleman we've been carrying has slipped off a cliff there, looks about 20 foot, 30 foot, something like that. And we've been summoned to come and help because he was stuck in quite a tricky situation. So he was sort of wedged under a tree and quite a lot high risk of sort of spinal injury and internal injury. So we helped the ambulance crew package him into one of our vacuum mattresses to immobilise him and popped him on one of our mountain rescue stretchers and brought him down here. And then luckily the air ambulance crew's been here to help assess.
Take a deep breath. Okay, lovely. And again for me. That's what's hurting you, is it? Does that? Yes. Sorry, so sorry. You can punch me back when you're feeling better. That's a 98, so we're all good. Do you want to do tummy?
Sarah is concerned about Vernon's condition and wants to give him some blood, but there's a complication.
Vernon?
Yeah.
You're a Jehovah's Witness, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and I've got this note to say that you're not to have any blood, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and you understand that you're poorly at the moment, you're still happy to continue in that?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Are we okay to give you a medicine which can help the blood to clot?
Yeah, it's not a blood product, is it?
It's not a blood product.
Is that okay?
Yeah, fine.
Do you think it was like more of a slip or an actual like fall?
He's basically come off the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
There's a bit of overhanging rock.
Yeah.
Basically, they were traversing and trying to come down the bank.
Okay.
And then he's literally, the bit of stone that's overhanging.
Yeah.
It's broken away, and then he's...
Oh gosh, so it's just given way underneath him, sort of thing.
His sit rep is, his head is okay, his GCS is 15, he has fallen from 30 feet. Query spleen, definite ribs, and they're just doing his bottom half now.
Out of 10, Vernon, how sore are you? Where 10 is excruciating and 1 is mild. Okay, that's quite a lot.
Medic 1, come medic 2.
Medic 1, pass your message.
Yeah, Sammy, we're about good to leave the scene now, so we're going to be heading down to you in the next minute.
But there's a cut here, isn't there?
There's a massive laceration, sort of probably about 20 centimetres, runs right the way across the back of his head.
Okay, no worries.
It's remarkable that Vernon is awake and talking after his fall, but his head and back injuries could still prove life-changing, and Sarah suspects he has a punctured lung. He'll be flown to hospital in Hull.
Ready, steady, move.
Out! Sorry, Vernon.
All the best. Don't worry. You'll be home before you know it.
Fuel, we have 390 and you've got the key, sufficient for hauling it home. Right, we'll just helipad out of here and then the initial track, if you can get the map up for me.
Because he's got an injury to the left side of his chest, Sarah just asked for a cannula to be passed back just in case we need to put a needle into his chest to decompress it if we think that his lung is collapsing. But we are keeping an eye on his oxygen levels, but hopefully we're going to be in Hull Royal in about 10 minutes time.
Okay, helipad into the lights at the HRI, next to the car park.
Vernon is lucky to be alive, but his age is against him, and he could deteriorate at any moment.
Okay, position's good there, landing on.
Sorry, lovely.
The breathing I'm struggling with.
Yeah, I know you are. I think this lung has collapsed slightly, so we just need to fix that.
Vernon's being driven from the landing site to A&E, where doctors are on standby to take over his care. His recovery is far from certain.
Doors opening.
It's the start of the shift at the Nostell Air Base, and paramedic Paul is bringing out the helicopter for a busy day ahead. For the next 12 hours, Helimed 98 will be on standby to help any of the 5.5 million people across Yorkshire who may need it.
Yorkshire Air speaking.
And on the air desk, dispatcher Pete has a job for the team that's right at the edge of their patch.
Can't get much further out than that, can you? Someone falling off their electric scooter though.
He's scrambling Paul and Dr. Jez and paramedic Andy.
George, how does your stretcher? We'll secure the front, secure the back. Oh, secure the back. All clear left, we are clear right.
We're off to a place miles away called Spurn Point for somebody that's come off electric scooter or electric bike and they've got a head injury. It's probably the furthest you can go in Yorkshire from where we are, so we've got about 20-25 minutes flying time. As in any kind of injury, that we're going to go through an ABC approach, check their airway, their breathing and circulation. Specific to head injuries, the conscious level is really important. So if they're awake and talking, that's a very reassuring sign. The other end of the spectrum is somebody who's completely unresponsive, makes no response to pain, not opening their eyes at all. That's very worrying with a head injury.
So what I intend to do is just jump over the Humber estuary and just follow the coastline from the northern side.
Okay, mate, yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're not straight lining it.
Yeah, okay.
Just an update.
For you really, there's not much of an update from scene other than patient with a head laceration, increased respiratory rate, currently on oxygen and possibly an access problem as well as clinical need.
If I hear anything else, I'll update you.
Spurn Point is an iconic peninsula of sand between the North Sea and the Humber estuary. It can be seen from space, but at high tide, the sea cuts off the tip from the mainland.
Yeah, I think the ambulance would be struggling to get over that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think that's the case, isn't it?
It means the air ambulance team are the only medical crew who can reach the patient.
Okay, so we're just crosswind now.
Is it actually on the beach then?
Yeah, lifeboat down there.
Right.
I
can certainly see people right inside of the white building with the flag. I can see them coming out now into the green area. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, that looks like a nice little area.
Visual of smoke, preparing to land.
Just come round the corner then, mate. Yep. Just using that as a smoke. So I have got that transmission.
Yeah, I was going to mention that
antenna. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll just come to the right hand side of that.
Yeah, cool.
I'll just shoot my approach and then we'll just reposition.
Okay.
All clear on the left, bud?
Good on the left, mate, yes.
Thanks, mate. That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Erish, 98 landed. Happy?
Yeah, happy.
You're good.
Spurn is home to the UK's only full-time offshore lifeboat crew, and they have been helping the man.
This is Mark Dyer, he's 63 years old. He's had a crash on his bike at 12:39. He's got a head injury, he's got quite a nasty cut to his head, So initially, 3223, when we came to him, he was alert. He hasn't been unconscious at any time because there were 2 people saw the accident.
Sure.
Mark Dyer was out cycling alone when he hit a bump in the road and fell over the handlebars of his electric bike, hitting his head.
We were just sat having our dinner and we got a knock on the window saying that there's a gentleman fallen over on his bike. So it's just right at the back of the lifeboat station, so we just went out and had a look and saw the chap on the floor. Just about 3.5 miles from the land to the end of Spurn Point. So it can be quite a walk, certainly for trying to get an ambulance down here.
Hey mate, how are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm all right.
My name's Paul.
Yeah.
All right, so how are you feeling at the minute now you laid down?
I'm actually fine.
You're feeling all right? Is your vision okay? Can you see all right?
Vision's fine, apart from I haven't got my glasses on.
So you've got no neck pain at all?
None.
No pain in your back?
No.
Can you wiggle your fingers for me? No tingling pins and needles?
No.
Okay, no pain in your chest when I'm pressing?
No.
Okay, good.
Jez knows a bang to the head can have serious consequences. He wants to feel for any neck or spinal injuries.
We'll just have a little feel of your neck, sir. Yeah, you can let go, mate. Have you got any pain in your neck at all? None at all. None whatsoever? Your head hurts, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's tender.
Right, okay. Just going to take your collar off. Don't. Right, I'm just going to have a little gentle feel, fella. Tell me, have you got any pain at all there?
No.
None at all?
No.
Just have a quick look at your noggin. That's all stopped bleeding. Good. Right.
So what we're going to do, Mark, we're going to re-bandage your head.
Yep.
And because of the distance you are from the nearest hospital, we're going to put you in the aircraft and fly you to Hull. Okay, mate, yeah, no worries. Obviously, because of the pandemic at the minute, obviously we have to make sure that obviously we can put a mask on you.
Yeah.
And obviously we have to wear.
Okay.
Have you? So we've got loads, mate. Don't worry about it. Free on NHS. So what we'll do is we'll get us all selves kitted up and just wander with you to the aircraft. Is that all right?
Yep.
This chap's been riding an electric bike with a battery pack on, and now can obviously get a bit of speed up, and he's hit a speed bump by the sounds of it, and he's come a cropper, and he's not wearing a helmet, and he's kind of hit his head, kind of top of his forehead, scalp area, but he's been conscious and talking the whole time, so that's really reassuring. He's conscious and talking now.
What we'll do is we'll support you,
Yeah.
and then Andy's just going to redress your head.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Just going to take this off.
Mark has a deep laceration 4 inches long, which needs attention at a major trauma centre.
Ready?
I'm just going to put this conforming bandage around me.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not a minor injuries trip.
We've had a really good feel of his neck, and he's got no pain whatsoever in his neck, and he's moving his neck normally. So what that means is we can take the collar off and allow him to mobilise. The options really, we could put him in a 4x4 and take him all the way up to the ambulance, but given that we're here and we've got to fly past Hull on the way back, we'll taxi him over to Hull and drop him off there.
Right, should we stand you up, see you're on your feet?
Yep.
Right, just stand still for a minute. Get your balance.
Yeah.
Are you sorted?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
After falling onto his head, Mark is lucky to be on his feet at all. But Paul knows he could deteriorate during the flight, and will be keeping a close eye on him.
I know you've already banged your head once,
Yeah.
but don't bang it a second time.
No.
All right, we need to get you onto there.
Yeah.
All right.
What, forward or backwards?
Whichever way you think is going to be best for you to get onto there.
Just let me know when I can start.
I think we're okay, mate.
Free takeoff.
Okay, engines both to fly. Yep, confirmed. Doors manage your stretcher.
I'll secure the front, secure the back, please.
Buzz, secure the back. Breathe. Okay, mate.
So lift out of here, right hand turn, and we'll just follow away. Coast back to Hull.
There'll be a clear left.
All clear left, we are clear right.
The 15-minute flight to Hull Royal Infirmary will save Mark a bumpy journey back to the mainland and long drive to hospital, which could have caused him further damage.
He's got a very unpleasant scalp laceration, a long scalp laceration, which is very deep, but he doesn't appear to have damaged anything in his brain. Significantly, he's been conscious and talking the whole time. And he stayed like that the whole time, so he's going to need some stitches, quite a few stitches, to put it all back together. But apart from that, I think he'll be fine.
Standard V21 approach to the secondary side at Homicide.
Hull Royal Infirmary receives casualties from shipping and gas platforms across a huge area of the North Sea.
9-8, let us, that's received, thank you.
but patients from Spurn are a rarity.
All clear on the left, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Let's get to the ground cushion. Tail's clear right, nose coming left.
Alright, mate. Headers 981, did it hold?
An ambulance will take Mark into the care of doctors. He'll need brain scans and a lot of stitches. Back at the Nostell Airbase, the team are nearing the end of their 12-hour shift. But the night hasn't finished with them yet. Pilot JB will be flying Dr. Johnny and paramedics Gemma and Lisa into the twilight.
Inches left to fly.
They're flight and they're guarded.
Confirmed. Brief.
Standard lifting.
Good left.
Into the hover warning and it's clear. Lights as expected. Into the 30-minute power. Coming right.
So we're off to York.
Roger that.
They're being sent to a serious crash.
We've got reports of somebody having come off a moped who's multiply injured. There's an ambulance call sign there that have been assessing the patient. They're concerned about injuries to the femur, to the big bone in the thigh, also to the pelvis and to the chest as well, and also concerns that the patient lost consciousness.
The moped driver has suffered a number of injuries. Dr. Johnny knows that any one of them could be a threat to his life.
Unfortunately, lots of those things I've just described, particularly the femur and the pelvis, lead to significant bleeding, and that's one of our main concerns after this sort of injury is blood loss. They're big spaces that you can bleed into. Chest injuries as well can lead to low oxygen, hypoxia, which can be really bad, particularly if that's in conjunction with a head injury, because you really need to look after your brain after you've been injured. So low blood pressure from bleeding and low oxygen are two very bad things to your head, so we need to address those quite quickly when we get there.
Right, well I can see the open area where the race course is.
JB's going to have to land them right in the middle of the city's famous racecourse.
So I'm happy there's somebody walking there. There's no wires across there. The wind's on the nose, so I'm just going to land down here and then hover across.
Good luck.
Yeah, birds. Okay, there's a dog walker on the right.
There's 2 more people at 11 o'clock. I'll jump straight out as soon as we're down.
Okay, landing on.
The patient's been in the care of a senior paramedic.
Hey, you alright?
Are they in the back of this one? Nice one, mate.
Moped versus this.
Yeah.
Gone through there approximately about 60 feet. Helmets removed by crew.
Yeah.
GCS 14.
Yeah.
2 doctors on scene said he was groaning.
Okay.
He's got altered chest sound left hand side, query pelvis, and definitely an open left femur. So have a look yourself, Jim.
Hey guys, you alright? Hi, I'm Johnny. How you doing? This is Gemma.
33-year-old Nathan Maud was driving the moped when he had a head-on collision with the car.
Nathan's on his moped, very good kit, leathers, helmets, etc.
Yeah.
They're coming down the road, the car's come out, he's hit the front of the car, gone over the car, he's landed directly on his head.
Yeah.
When the driver's got out, he was unconscious on the floor. They've left him in the position that he's in.
Yeah. We've
got there and he's been about GCS 13, 14. Abdo was distended and solid, so we've put pelvic binder on. He's got open left femur, which we've pulled best that we can.
Nathan. Hello, mate. I'm Johnny, I'm one of the doctors with the Air Ambulance. Hello. Alright, mate. How are you feeling?
Terrible.
Yeah, where's your pain at the moment?
In my chest.
Nathan has a broken thigh bone, and it looks like he's torn his spleen. It's a big worry for Dr. Johnny. It could cause him to bleed out internally.
So head, currently GCS 15, left chest pneumothorax, probable spleen, and he's got some abdominal guarding. He's got a left open femur. Pelvis feels to be stable, but obviously given the mechanism can't exclude that. I think we go to Leeds by land. We're loaded, so let's just go. If anything happens en route, we need to decompress the chest first, and then we'll work out the rest from there.
Nathan's also suffered a head injury and a punctured lung. Dr. Johnny's so concerned that he and Gemma will be travelling with him to hospital.
How you doing, Nathan? You alright? Yeah, good. Keep chatting to us, matey.
That cat refill's quite slow on there. His toes are cold as well.
Nathan's injuries are so severe that he needs to be seen at the major trauma centre in Leeds.
Alright guys, we're ready to go when you are, so let's get moving.
Going by road means Johnny will have more room to work on his patient if his condition deteriorates.
How you doing, bud? You've got lots of bits broken, you've got lots of rib fractures. There's something going on in your tummy, and I think you might have damaged your spleen in the injury. Your leg, I think, is all right. Okay, it's going to be fine. That's the least of your worries. It's damaged. It might be that it's broken and that the bone has come out, but I can't see that at the moment. I wonder whether it's actually a puncture wound. We'll have a look anyway. You're all right. We're with you, okay? And we're going to keep you safe until we get to hospital. And when we get there, there's going to be lots of people looking after you, all right?
Johnny's reassurance seems to be helping Nathan, who'd been on his way home when the crash happened.
We're here, mate. All right, we're just going to get you off. There's going to be lots of people when we go into the department. They're all there to help you, don't worry, okay?
He's being taken straight into resus, where emergency doctors are awaiting his arrival.
So this is Nathan at 1809. He's been on a moped when a car has pulled out from a junction and hit him.
Dr. Johnny has done all he can. He's returning to base to await news. Tonight could have changed Nathan's life forever. The North York Moors are a magnet for cyclists, and in summer, riders flock to its 1,200 miles of roads and tracks.
Can you go to jog for me? It's Blakey Ridge.
Air Ambulance dispatcher James is on the line to the crew at RAF Topcliffe.
It's on the North York Moors. It's a cyclist who's come off query pelvic fracture.
In less than a minute, paramedics Sam and Andy are on board HeliMed 98.
Autopilot and auto trim, that's all on, and the breathing. Could go straight out, 12 o'clock, slight left turn. And after 98 we have lifted for Topcliffe.
We're on our way to a cyclist that's come off his bike somewhere in the North York Moors. The reports from the initial 999 call sound like he might have fractured his pelvis. You can lose a lot of blood into your pelvis. You can bleed to death fairly rapidly if you damage some of the major vessels that run through it. So it's really important to get assistance to scene quickly to start treating people and stopping the bleeding. Because there isn't anyone from scene yet, the details at the moment are a bit sketchy, but if we think someone's broken their pelvis, then that suggests that they've had a significant impact and will need to be transferred and assessed in a major trauma centre.
The cyclist has come off his bike in a remote part of the moors. There are no local ambulances available.
There's two stationary vehicles there. There's two there now, and there's one red one to the left, isn't there? Oh, there's a few people there. Someone's got some bright orange stuff. Yeah, that's right. We'll just park out those two cars if you're happy.
A third of the North York Moors National Park is covered in heather. Pilot Colin will have to bring them down in the middle of it.
So rock to my right. Got the bit more bumpy than it looks, isn't it? Yeah, auto trim please. Auto trim is off. Yeah. I think it should be okay. Stone to the right there. This doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Okay, fully down.
Hi.
Hello. So what's happened?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
You can't remember what's happened? Sorry, buddy, what was your name? Jamie. Oh, have you got any pain anywhere, Jamie? Whereabouts does it hurt?
A tiny little bit in my left elbow.
55-year-old Jamie Dixon was on a 60-mile cycle ride with his friends.
Just going to have to cut the sleeve of your top so I can get a blood pressure cuff on, all right?
Jamie has a surprising revelation for the team.
Well, I shouldn't tell you. I'm a paramedic.
Are you?
He worked for the Yorkshire Ambulance Service for 10 years, but today he's a patient.
So not sore anywhere where I'm pressing, no?
No, abdo.
Jamie was cycling at nearly 30 miles an hour when he fell.
Can you straighten this leg out at all?
Oh, no.
So you can't remember at all what's happened, you can remember kind of coming up there?
I was on his tail and then there was a snapping noise. I have no idea because his chain's still intact. Next thing I remember is coming around here.
When you came back to him, was he awake or was he unconscious?
He was awake. He was making a few funny noises, but he was awake, yeah.
Yeah, I was just knocked, the wind was knocked out of me.
Jamie's friends saw him lying in the road and called 999.
We kind of ran along, three of us, probably about 25, 30 mile an hour. There was kind of a snapping noise, but we don't really know where it came from. I actually thought it was from my bike, I was in the front. And then kind of immediately just heard the noise behind us of Jamie kind of hitting the floor.
Sharp scratch.
And then, kind of came back to him, and he was in a bad way, picked the bike off him and that sort of stuff, but we haven't moved him since.
Just drop some morphine for us, mate. I will.
He was moaning quite a lot, wasn't he? He was moaning, he was and groaning. Conscious. He was conscious all the way through, but moaning and groaning.
And he's had, it's repeated itself a lot, so that's probably from a bang to the head.
Immediately he said the pain was in his hip and also his shoulder. He was on his side, we rolled him onto his back because he insisted. And he's cut his elbow quite badly. He was bleeding quite a lot from that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he's been coming up the road. You can remember going past a pub somewhere nearby. He said there's like a bang or a crack or a pop or something, and he's kind of ended up on the floor, but he doesn't know what's happened, how he's ended up there. So it sounds like he's bumped his head, but there's no obvious, like, really bad external damage to the helmet. He's just complaining of a lot of pain in his hip, and he's holding it kind of in flexions.
So we don't think there was a collision with anything?
No.
Okay.
So just giving it 5 of morphine.
5 of morphine?
Yeah. Just because he's in so much pain, we'll have to immobilise him.
Sam suspects a pelvic injury, but Jamie's painful elbow is also a concern. Their patient knows all too well what these injuries could mean for him.
Can you feel me touching here? And here? And can you feel me touching there? Yeah. With this hand, can you point your finger like that? Can you cross your fingers over like that? And can you make a fist? Excellent, that's fine. Pop that hand down.
I'm just popping a little dressing over this arm. We're going to cover this arm up and get you scooped up. All right, Jamie, mate. There we go. Are you able to lift and straighten that just a touch, just to help me?
Oh, yeah, painful. Yeah, collarbone.
Right, just supporting that arm is painful, is it?
It's really painful now. Now I've moved it.
Just there.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we use the scoop stretcher just because it's easier to kind of clip and carry you over to the aircraft. We'll take you up to James Cook. They can do some imaging on your pelvis and see if there is anything going on there. And I think you're right. I think you've broken your collarbone, and take an X-ray of your elbow, see if that's broken as well. My main concern is that he might have done something to his left hip. He's holding it in a position called flexion, which is basically where he's bent at the hip and he can't fully straighten it out. And you do sometimes get that with the dislocation of the hip, or if you get any damage to the joint itself. Other than that, he's probably got a fractured collarbone and an injury to his left elbow. So we're going to take him up to James Cook and get some X-rays and some CT scans, and then go from there.
After being on the ground since his fall, Jamie is very cold.
Ready, steady, roll.
The team are putting him in a Flectalon bag.
Just lifting you into a sleeping bag, keep you a bit warmer, all right, Jamie?
The thermal material will keep him warm during his journey to hospital.
Everyone ready?
It could take an hour to get to the major trauma centre by road from this remote part of the moors.
iPad is stowed, autopilot and auto trim. That's on, apart from auto trim. I'll come and dissolve it, mate. We'll just move back slightly and do a helipad from here.
Being a paramedic, Jamie knows how much time this flight to hospital will save him.
No need, medic.
Receiving, just lifted, heading James Cook. Is everyone secure in the back still? A little bit bumpy with some of these showers.
It's likely that Jamie will require surgery.
Yeah, those bags are doing nothing. I don't think it windsock's too much either, is it?
Scans in the next few hours will tell for sure.
Guys, I'm just going to ring this caller back.
It's the night shift on the air desk,
This job's in Pickering.
and the latest 999 call has dispatcher Rachel feeling worried.
Pickering's is it about half an hour flight, won't it, from here? Because if it is an MI, it's going to be quite a long distance to hospital as well.
The caller has described low-level chest pain, but Rachel suspects they're describing a heart attack.
Hi, my name's Rachel. I'm a paramedic from the ambulance service. Can I just ask you some more questions? Is that okay? What's gone on this evening? What's he been doing when this chest pain started? Okay. Has he? You say he's had a heart attack in the past. Does he describe this discomfort that he's got in his chest as the same type as last time? All right. Okay. Right. I'm going to hang up now. If anything changes, you obviously call 999 back. And there is a crew en route to you. Okay. I'm going to set you off on it because crew are still 20 minutes away, and it's up to James Cook from there. It's nearly an hour drive.
Helimed 99 is flying paramedics Lisa and George and Dr. Andy to the patient's home in Rydale.
Heliport departure. I went up at the left turn out towards north.
And then 999 for that straight agreement.
145 just left north still. We're outbound to Pickering in North Yorkshire. We're 5 on board, 1,500 feet, 1012, requesting basic service.
Pilot Jeff will have them there in less than 20 minutes.
Previous MI and stents 3 years ago, internal defib in place. Ooh. 1930 onset of central chest pain, heavy arm, vomited twice, clammy, pale, short of breath, lightheaded. Air desk 99, we're overhead seat, just looking for a landing site.
Yeah, Roger, thank you.
In the front, paramedic Lisa is an extra pair of eyes. Landing in darkness can be extremely hazardous.
You're all good left.
I'll just stick it down here near these tyres. There we're done.
Happy, Jack?
Yeah.
NS99 with landing seat.
Roger, thank you. I've just had back from crew, confirmed MI, aspirin GTN, and they're going to get IV access and ring James Cook, so you'll probably be at that point when they get in.
Hello.
George joins local paramedics who are treating the patient.
Hello.
George, hiya. Well, I started with some chest pain about 20 to 8 this evening, central and aching in both arms. He has had a heart attack 2 years ago. He describes this as about half the sensation of what it was then. He was over at York this morning having a checkup where they did an ECG and there was no problems. He's come home.
51-year-old Clive Ainley is clammy and experiencing chest pains, classic signs of a heart attack. He's had one before.
So the ECG does show some ST elevation in V2 and V3.
The heart monitor readings confirm there's a serious problem.
So we'll have to assume this is acute and treat it as such. And with that in mind, we probably need to go for James Cook for PCI. I think we're going to be at least 15 minutes to get into the helicopter from here where we are. I don't think there'll be much, but if there'll be a time saving, then we should do it.
Clive has a known heart condition. He could go into cardiac arrest at any minute. Speed is of the essence.
So the plan is we're going to grab our carry chair to take you down to the helicopter.
The average age for a first heart attack in the UK is 65. Clive was only 47. Just 4 years later, it looks like he's experiencing his second.
Do you want to put some sticky pads in here? You probably had these on before.
Clive's heart will be monitored throughout the flight.
So, what we need is just the defibrillator.
Gives us the yeah.
Right then. You just swing your leg down first for me.
There's a real risk that Clive will deteriorate rapidly during the flight. The defibrillator could help restart his heart if it stops.
Put this over your arms, okay?
What we're going to do is we're going to tilt you back. Alright. Keep holding on to that for us.
Yeah.
Alright. You alright back there, Andy?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. You ready? Just going to tilt you back.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, go.
Until his first heart attack, Clive was a fit and active man who enjoyed mountain biking and playing squash.
Do you want me to carry those for you?
Trace,
Grab those.
put my phone in my bag.
Outside, there's a long stretch of boggy ground to navigate.
I think we might be best lifting because that's quite uneven boggy ground.
All right, well, let's lift
Are we all
it.
okay with
Top of the bottom end, George.
It's alright, well.
Yep.
Ready, yeah.
Their patient is on his way to cardiac specialists in Middlesbrough.
Right, brief. We'll come out to the middle of the field. More or less the same place for landing. And we'll just do a vertical from there.
Right.
Clive is heading for a procedure called a PPCI, where surgeons use microsurgery to open up blocked arteries in the heart.
Oh, we're down. Very smooth. NS99 with landing James Cook.
Within an hour of his first chest pain, his treatment should be over. Clive still can't believe what happened that day.
You're in denial straight away because it can't be happening again, and you straight away think of what else it could be. It wasn't until I actually sat down and started to have a difficulty breathing a little bit and shortness of breath that, yes, I knew it was a heart attack. And that's when everything from your previous heart attack starts going through your mind. What's going to happen to me? Am I going to be here tomorrow? And you become very, very frightened.
The stent fitted after his first attack had become blocked, and he was given an implantable defibrillator to monitor and restart his heart if necessary.
I worry about having a heart attack in the future. I've had to already. My drive and determination was my exercise. Now that my heart has been damaged, it can't be repaired.
A few weeks later, he had another collapse, and the air ambulance came out again. Thankfully, he's now recovering well, but he may need heart surgery in the future.
I can't thank the Yorkshire Air Ambulance enough, and the work that they do is second to none. Yeah, my life was in their hands, and I'm happy to be here, and I can't thank them enough for the service that they offer.
Vernon, what we're going to do is we're just going to go another top-to-toe survey and have a look to see if any injuries.
Vernon, who fell 30 feet down a rock face, fractured his pelvis and broke some ribs, but escaped serious head or spinal injuries. After a week in hospital, he's recovering well at home.
Okay, can you see all right? Vision's fine, apart from I haven't got my glasses on.
Mark, who fell off his electrical bike at Spurn Point, was released from hospital the same day, but had to take 3 weeks off work.
I wasn't going fast, I was only doing probably less than 10 miles an hour. But the force of the bang to the head was amazing. The momentum really piled my head into the ground. If that had been something sharp, it could have killed me.
He's glad the accident happened so close to the local lifeboat station.
As I was walking away from the bike, I could feel something sort of moving about in my head, thinking it was my hat that needed pulling back on. I put my hand up and sort of patted it down. And when I looked down, my hat was on the floor, and I thought, oh God. I thought, you don't black out here, get yourself up. And I had seen somebody back, about 150 yards back from where I was. That was all that went through my mind was, go get help.
He had a 4-inch long wound to his head, which required stitches.
The worst one was this one, the cut on the top of the head, and that's quite a spectacular cut. And there were 2 people stitching it up, and they were very, very good. And you could feel it pulling together again. The other injuries were basically where my wrist hit the floor, skint back of my hand. Apart from that, I just shook up.
He's back on his bike now, but there's one thing he'll be doing differently from now on.
I've been up and down there, plenty of times without a helmet, and I'm used to going without a helmet on. It won't happen again. I've bought my grandkids all new helmets so that when they come round here and they get on the bikes that I've got here for them, they've no excuse that they haven't got a helmet. It's here, and they've no helmet, no bike.
Have you got any pain anywhere, Jamie?
A little bit in my left elbow.
Scans at James Cook Hospital confirmed that cyclist Jamie had suffered a complex pelvic fracture, which required 5 hours of surgery, as well as a broken collarbone.
Ready, steady, roll.
He had metal plates and screws put in from his hip to his pelvis and spent 10 weeks recovering on crutches.
Left chest pneumothorax, probable spleen, and he's got some abdominal guarding.
Nathan, who was knocked off his moped, did have a broken femur, as well as a punctured lung, a broken collarbone and ribs, and a ruptured spleen. He had surgery on his leg and a chest drain. He's still recovering and hasn't been on his moped since.